Hello and welcome back to Command Battle Wins. Um, what's this thing called? Podcast.
Waffle and War.
Waffle
I
and
honestly
War
thought you
podcast.
said Command Battle Wince. Like, ugh.
Well, I wouldn't be surprised because the cold that I've got, everybody should be wincing from me or wincing at me.
Good job we're doing this remotely.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly. So
Each aboard our own starships.
how have we all been this week?
Good.
Pretty good. Pretty good. I got the golden ticket this week. I've got the week off.
Ooh,
Woohoo!
nice.
Lots of painting.
The Emperor has blessed me, and I've been doing a spot of painting here.
Nice.
So we've got some interesting things to waffle and war about, namely the fact that we've got a battle report that's hopefully going live tomorrow, possibly.
Yep.
That's the plan. And then we've got another one in the pipeline, which is going to be edited or starting edited after we've done this waffle and war.
Yeah, I would definitely say us going to Winters and suddenly getting a load of new subscribers definitely giving us some momentum.
Yes, yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
So
absolutely.
we're looking forward to seeing some feedback on the battle reports in the comments. Hint,
Yeah.
hint. Like, subscribe, and comment, please.
Pretty please. So certainly on the battle reports, we like people's feedbacks.
Yeah, that's true.
So in terms of Games Workshop and all that stuff, the last data slate has just landed for 9th edition. Do you think they're going to continue doing these data slates throughout 10th?
They actually confirmed that they are doing them in 10th, yeah.
Oh, okay.
I think it's just going to be a constant rebalancing. I actually watched, because again, having the week off, I actually watched one of GW's, I forget what they call it, like Meta Watch
Oh yes, yeah.
things, and they just sort of talk about how they monitor the win rates of certain tournaments and things. I think Mr. Auspex has said it anyway, but when they go above 55% win rate, that's when they start to nerf them.
Yeah.
And unfortunately, my beloved Dark Angels were at like something like 58%. So, as you delivered the bad news earlier, Dark Angels have got a nerfing.
Well, Games Workshop have also announced vehicles are even tougher in the new edition, but
I
they've
saw
not.
that.
I didn't get an email from them saying it, so but okay.
No, I've seen it on various message boards.
Okay.
Because someone had put, oh, maybe the rhinos won't be so useless now, which is good news for me because I've just bought a rhino.
Spiky Rhino.
With a big horn. Has he got a big horn? Is it grey?
I can put a big horn on him.
Grey.
Looking at it gives me the big horn. What?
I'm just having a quick look on Battlescribe at the comparisons because they've released all the stats for the baseline stats for like the Storm Speeder and the Gladiator and the Repulsor. Well, they're the only ones that they've released the stats for, and the Rhino as well. See, I've got the Winters list up. Don't know if we've ever mentioned this, but people listening, did you know that we played Winters SEO fairly recently? Not that we mentioned it.
Most of our subscribers came from Winters.
Oh, dear. Right, let's have a look. So the Impulsor. There's the Impulsor on there. Oh, that's the Repulsor, not the Impulsor. Repulsor. Toughness 12. Yeah, that's definitely stronger. Toughness 12. Where it was toughness 8 before.
Yeah.
16 wounds. I had 16 wounds before. So yeah, definitely tougher.
Is it any harder hitting?
They've not released the weapon profile, so I'm not too sure.
Okay.
Sure, I would assume so. This is very similar to what both Winters and all Specs Tactics was talking about, that the tanks should be higher toughness, considerably higher toughness, because they're tanks. You know,
Yeah.
they're heavily armored, and yeah. So I imagine the weapons are also going to get a boost.
Yeah, you'd think.
Hopefully.
Yeah. Because basically, you don't have that many tanks in 40k. As a board game, as a tabletop game, you're meant to have infantry backed up by a couple of tanks at most.
Mm.
So, like the
Yeah.
Lehman Russ Imperial Guard tank detachment is meant to be like out of the ordinary. And if it's out of the ordinary, then it should be pretty hard to kill.
Although, have you ever seen Astra Militarium? They've got a hell of a lot of tanks.
Well, that's what I'm talking about here.
Oh, okay, sorry. Yeah, hell of a lot of tanks. Although there's there's a picture of ultramarine tanks, and there's a lot of them in the background that you don't tend to see, or you don't tend to see people play. The main ones are the Storm Speeder, the Gladiator, the Repulsor, and Impulsor, isn't it? All the Primaris stuff. They've got access to a lot of heavy hitting tanky things as well.
You mean all the old Firstborn Marine stuff?
Yeah, like the Whirlwind, and that's the only one that I can remember the name of is the Whirlwind.
Razorback, I always wanted when I was younger.
Oh, you'll notice that most vehicles have an objective control of more than one, meaning that ramming a depleted enemy infantry squad with a missile off their objectives is highly legitimate.
Sounds good.
That's interesting. Have you seen the? I know it's 30k and we don't play 30k, but have you seen the 30k librarian that they've announced as well?
No, I've not.
Looks a bit boring, if I'm honest.
Well, 30k's got that more plain aesthetic, hasn't it?
Yeah.
A bit cleaner.
Yeah.
Bit cleaner, maybe a bit meaner. He's basically looks like a normal marine. He's got an axe. He's got some keys on his pocket, and he's got a beaky hat that's glowing. Kind of looks like the firstborn marine style as well. It doesn't look like true scale. Also, the Games Workshop of randomly releasing Bolt Gun. I don't know if you've ever heard. I've never heard of it.
It looks just like Doom.
Yeah,
I think that's what they were going for.
Is it an old game that they've, or is it a new game that they've just done in the
It's
style
a new
of
game designed to look old, yeah.
Okay. Looks interesting. Looks like it should be free and not paid for, if I'm honest.
Yeah.
Looks like it's a new model as well, based on the parts of the Stern Guard veteran kit. It's most identically awesome game. There's a model at the bottom of it that looks not like Firstborn, which is the model that's on the front of the cover. I don't know if that's just kit bashed or not, or whether it's a model tonight. It says it's Stern Guard, based on the parts from the Stern Guard veteran kit. You can basically make the model off the front cover. Not that anybody's going to do that, sure. Maybe. I haven't done any painting since last week. Anything.
Haven't you?
No,
I've been toying with the slap chop method.
Oh yeah, how's that
by
going?
some Chaos Cultists. Yeah, it's all right, but it does. You know, when you sort of scrutinizing it,
Yeah.
I don't feel like it paints up as well as with the edge highlighting and stuff. Don't know if you two have ever tried the slap chop before.
No, I've not.
Yeah, I tried it when I was experimenting with my orcs. Before I started painting them, I thought, I know, let's have a nice army that I can just bash out and not have to edge highlight.
Yeah.
And I'm with you, Chris. Like I tried doing it with the airbrush. But even that, because it has spatters in the airbrush. So you spray it black, you spray it white or grey from the top down, and it's not the smoothest of smooth gradients. So you've got all these little white dots and speckles, and they do show up through the contrast paint. And I think it's the same if you do it with a dry brush. You get that kind of chalky texture.
So I don't know if I've been doing it wrong, but
I guess the only thing I can think is just to do some kind of method to smooth out what you're doing regarding your dry brush.
Yeah.
Um,
I have seen a lot of tips recently. People saying that you shouldn't use the kitchen towel when you're drying out. You should use a bit of a damp kitchen towel.
yeah, that's surfaced all of a sudden, hasn't it?
Yeah, like seems to be everyone's giving that tip out because otherwise you drawing the moisture out and it gives a more of a chalky look on your dry brush,
Yeah,
which could be the problem that
yeah,
I'm facing.
that might be worth trying then.
Could try it.
I mean, the
And
pictures.
obviously,
Sorry.
I was going to say, if anyone's got experience and got some tips, please comment below.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, it looks like when we. I mean, it looks great. Don't get me wrong. It looks really good. If your whole army was painted up like that, then that's great. But if you're gonna, I imagine, progress and do the edge highlighting on like the bigger guys and stuff, I don't know. But it reminds me of when I first painted and I did the zombie side. I dry brushed everything with white, and then it just looked dusty.
Yeah,
And it's got
Yeah.
that dusty dry brush look. I can see on the gun bit really. But
Yeah.
as a model, it looks great. It looks good, and it works. It does work, but depends whether that's you want. If that's what you want for your army, like the aesthetics of your army want to look like that, and that's fine. I saw somebody say that they felt it was a good technique for like stone looking army.
Yeah.
yeah. Just when I was doing it with the orcs, it didn't work for skin. So like the green skin, obviously you want your transitions to be quite smooth, and you don't have chalky skin unless there's something wrong with you, I guess.
She got a bit of eczema.
Yeah, maybe good for
I've
Death Guard.
Winter's commented on our last post that we put on Facebook. Not Facebook, on YouTube. That one.
What did he say?
So I put up a picture of this picture that Chris took of my chaplain, which looks awesome, by the way, Chris. Well done. Looks really, really cool.
Thank you.
It says thank you to all our new subscribers that have come from Winter's SEO. We appreciate the sub, and we hope you like our contact. Happy Easter, and eat all the chocolate eggs. The Emperor. So I didn't tag him in or anything like that, and then he just put on it big hugs.
Oh,
Pinned it.
thank you, Winters.
Yes, thank you, Winters, if you're still listening. We're still watching.
We are.
Let's go. What's our Winters battle report up to in terms of views?
Ooh, let's have a.
Things got over 35,000.
Wow,
38,000 in 9 days. It's 38,000. That's insane. The
is that
comments.
more than our entire channel?
Yeah, probably. The comments on there, I've not looked for it for a few days, to be fair, but it's a lot of it's like, we love these big battles. These big battles are great. It's great to see 4 people playing this. It'd be interesting if obviously the invitation happens again and we go down. It'd be interesting if we all bring completely different armies. I'd definitely bring Tyranids and play Tyranids.
I think it could be fun as well to maybe do. I mean, I know last time we wasn't keen on the 2v2, but it might be cool to do 2v2 or
Yeah,
something like that. You know,
Definitely.
but I would say Winters is definitely the game master, isn't he? So when it
Oh,
comes
God,
to
Yeah.
so
He knows what the people want.
It does. Warpedia is hosted in his head. That's where Warpedia comes from. It's from Winter's head, from his brain.
Right, it can't be taken down.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah. Well, you're right. If I'd have known we were doing a every man for himself, I definitely would have brought orcs. The reason I brought Dark Angels is so that we could ally a little Space Marine alliance.
Yeah.
I guess it depends.
Good. It was good. I enjoyed it. It was fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
So apparently, Gene Stealer called Admech and Eldar at the top of 40k army lists.
Are they really?
That's the list to beat according to spikybits.com.
Not Dark Angels.
Yeah, according to them. I'm starting to stop going on Spiky Bits purely for the fact that there are adverts everywhere and it really bugs me.
Yeah.
I don't know where they've got the information from, but yeah, Got to have it there as well.
Whereas they've got to make a living somehow.
That's it.
So I
Interesting.
guess
Oops,
for the
sorry.
benefit of our not viewership, listenership, or our listeners, do we want to kind of advertise what we're going to do going forward? Like, what have they got to look forward to from us?
I think that's
Good idea.
a good idea. Good idea. So we've got a Orc versus Ultramarines. Was it Bad Moons you play, isn't it? Is that right?
Bad Moons, yeah.
Bad Moons versus Ultramarines battle. It's just hopefully, like we said, going up tomorrow. It's all uploaded and ready. We just need to just dot the T's and cross the I's. And then
if you go over to Instagram, you can see a lot of photos of what was brought.
yeah. Chris, you've got the
as well.
Instagram bug, haven't you? You're enjoying taking lots of. You've got some new
I've got a
lights
good-
and stuff, yeah.
Yeah, I don't want my wife listening to this. She's going to tell me off for spending too much. So yeah, basically, I got control of my Instagram account again, so I've been playing around with that.
Yeah, been uploading some good stuff. And what
Yeah, I
is your
seem to be getting a
Instagram
few
account,
likes.
Chris?
CBW_Chris, and
good.
yours, Azza,
CBW_Azza, AZA.
and keeping on with the trend, Joe.
Joe underscore no, it's CBW_Joe. The links are at the top as well, on the banner on YouTube, as well as the link to the Spotify if you wanted to listen to us on Spotify as well. You got quite a lot of likes though for your last Necron picture, actually.
I did. It suddenly jumped, and
Yeah,
I was quite surprised this morning when it said you've got 50 likes.
pretty
Which-
impressive.
Well, thank you.
I think
Yeah,
maybe
so
Instagram has rewarded your persistence.
maybe. Well, I am eternally grateful because it is nice seeing people liking your stuff.
Yeah.
Definitely.
And it's sparing me on. Well, it's making me want to paint more.
Yeah.
I definitely go through sort of phases where I paint absolutely tons and loads, and then I go through phases where I hardly pick up a brush. Don't know about you guys.
Yeah, I'm in that phase of not picking up a brush at the moment. Not just because I don't want to. I think it's probably because this cold's been coming on and I'm just tired. I can't be bothered. But I've been doing.
And you've got into other bits, haven't you? Online games and stuff.
Yeah, I've had a time playing a couple of games. I've also been trying to come up with some more music stuff for the channel that we can use. So I'm in the process of some what is it? I've lost it already. It's here. Came today. Oops, dropped the box on the floor. A lemon oil cleaner and conditioner for my guitar neck. So I'm gonna give that a good clean and then restring, and then do a bit of recording.
Would it be worth shamelessly plugging your music YouTube channel?
No, not really.
No?
I'm sure there's a link somewhere for it. I could always put it in, but the problem is it's a different kettle of fish of music to the music that going. It's not really, I suppose, but the weird droning sounds that you hear is the audio that's taken. The weird droning sounds that you hear on the battle reports is audio taken from one of the videos that I did years ago at Halloween, and it just seemed rather fitting to have sort of this spooky, ominous sort of sound going off for battle reports.
Certainly did.
So I plan on hopefully making a few more of those. So we've got a selection to choose from, and then either redoing the introduction or having a little bit more variation in music. I think Chris, you were saying about having a certain type of music for like showcasing and certain music for when we're deploying and stuff like that. So
Yeah, so that would be. Yeah, I think having sort of some signature sounds for certain bits were just good for the brand, building a brand and all that, because that's what we're trying to still figure out our brand, really, aren't we, a bit?
Yeah, absolutely. So I mean, I've been experimenting with a little bit of.
What's
Joe,
going on?
turn you.
That's not me.
Yeah.
Is it Azza?
Yeah, it's me. Don't worry. But So I've got this little mouth.
Just slowly suddenly start hearing some heavy breathing coming from it.
Yeah. Well, it just might help things along. I mean, this is purely for the streaming stuff, but we could potentially use it for videos, battle reports, and whatnot.
So would you like to give our listening audience a demonstration? I know you just accidentally done that, but would you like to give our listening
That
audience...
wasn't an accident.
okay. It was supposed to make a weird noise. Not sure what was it. What was it supposed to be? It was like a sleep time bit of music when your character goes to sleep in an RPG.
It's called Space Piano. Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
There you go. This is the
Welcome to Command Battle Win.
Yeah, absolutely. That works real well.
In the depth darkness of my underpants, there can only be war.
Well, yeah, we can also mix it up a bit. I can change my voice.
So could sound a little bit orky, maybe.
I like it.
And then we could have, as I showed earlier, we could have a bit of an orc raid. Welcome to Command Battle Win.
That's cool.
Just stuff like that. Why not?
And what about the other voice you were showing us earlier on that was quite funny?
Oh, for the Omnisire.
Yeah.
Yes, this one's. I can't hear myself back, so I assume it's working.
It's working.
I think we've used that. We've used that in an intro video, haven't we? That voice.
What? Oh, command. Yes.
Oh, incoming transmission, wasn't it?
Incoming transmission.
Yeah.
You need to
Was
say.
it one where?
Go on, Chris. Sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, is it the one where we did the mission where the Necrons had captured something?
No, it was the Death Guard versus the Dark Angels Fortress of Redemption video.
Yeah.
You needed to say in that voice, "Welcome to Command Battle Win. Move the troops and like, subscribe, tell your mums." Really, I think that's what we need. We need that in our videos.
Okay, so like, welcome to Command Battle Win. Remember to subscribe and.
Oh dear! And it was at that point that everybody stopped listening. Here's their ears.
That was a fun just for us, not for anyone else.
Well,
was that point where our friend Winters just cancelled us off and blocked us?
Well, just before the stream started, you were obviously playing different samples, and we were giving you our reactions of where that music would be best suited, and you were saying we could just do the whole waffle on war doing that. It'd be entertaining.
We are dangerously close to doing that now.
Oh dear, it was funny.
So yeah, so we've been playing around really this week and really putting some thought into the channel of where we're going to go forward. You know, sort of what bits to work on. I would say something that I really quite enjoyed with the last video editing would be the, you know, just learning a bit more editing skills rather than just cutting the stuff down and exporting it. You know, learning a few animation skills, that sort of bits.
Yeah, it all helps.
Yeah, and purposely the animation I have put in there is so bad it's so awful it's kind of good. Would be the way I'd describe it.
Oh, I'm looking forward to it.
Yes.
Just saying, I'm looking forward to it, Chris.
Oh, good. Yeah. Well, tomorrow. Have we set a time yet, Joe?
I was thinking 6 p.m. I've not actually set it up yet, but tomorrow at 6 p.m. I was going to do what do they call it? Premiere, but I don't know whether that's worth doing. If I'm honest.
And what is the premiere thing?
It just shows up in the feeds at the top, and it's like they can set a reminder to watch it.
Fair enough.
Or they can start watching it early and like basically just watch a blank screen until it starts.
Oh yeah, that as well. But I don't know whether it's worth it. I mean, personally, when I see that on channels, I ignore them. I don't particularly like Premiere stuff.
Yeah.
I don't think it adds any value to. I don't know. No idea. Well, the simple fact that number one, Chris didn't know what it was. Number two, me and Azza have both said that we're not bothered by it. Kind of. Oops! I've just moved my chair go flat. Kind of answers my own question of I'm not going to bother doing that. We'll just put it up to schedule at 6 o'clock.
Yeah.
Yeah. I don't go on YouTube in order to wait for stuff. That's not what it's for, really.
No, I'm just trying to see whether the analytics tell us if people use the notification bell. I can't remember how. There's a way of seeing it. Can't find it.
That's pretty much the best way for people to know, though, isn't it, when stuff lands?
It is, yeah. Clicking that bell. I feel it. You know, when you watch a video and it's like, "Hi guys, now before we go on, I just want you to like and subscribe, and don't forget to click that notification bell." I kind of want to avoid us doing that because everybody does that, and it's sort of a bit of a cringy eye roll thing, but it does work.
There is a reason why people do it, and that is because without it, you don't get the ability to maintain your channel's monetization.
Yeah, well, we've got to get
Like-
monetized first.
But
we
that's
need
why
more people.
that's why people are doing it, aren't
Yeah.
they? Because they need so many likes, so many subscribers. And I suppose if you've got, say, 30,000 people, well, we haven't, but if a channel had, say, 30,000 people watching but only 1,000 subscribers, then they'll be getting frustrated to think, well, if I had more subscribers, YouTube would take me more seriously. The algorithms would and stuff.
Yeah, our algorithms have been let loose to do what they like. I think they're a sentient being. Certainly,
Quick, cue Azza with the voices.
certainly with the shorts. I mean, there is absolutely no rhythm or pattern for how these shorts work, in my opinion. I just don't understand. Like the tags are the same. The what do they call them? The little short
Hashtags.
Yeah, hashtags. They're the same. It's all the same, and yet
Different. Yeah.
it just it doesn't make any sense to me.
The algorithm doesn't need to explain itself to you.
Oh shit! Oh god, it's here. We're sorry, YouTube. We're sorry, YouTube.
Please recommend us to other people.
I liked it. It sounded like your internet just dropped then, but it sounded like you were being deleted. Please recommend to other people. And we never saw Chris again. He was deleted.
Lost in the war.
Oh, so in other news, I mean, you guys know, but people listening don't. March of War have sent us their first sponsor gift. So I'm just waiting. I won't say what it is, because I said to him that I'm going to record. It's going to take a couple of weeks. I'll record it. I'm going to try and paint it up, and then do some nice videos with it. So I'm just waiting for him to send us the splash screen so we can put it on the videos as well. And obviously I need to film it and paint it. But yes, thank you very much to March of War for sending us some free stuff. Very appreciate and being our official sponsor.
Yep, thank you.
And for those listening, head over to marchofwar.co.uk and check out, because this guy does some really great bases for models and really great terrain as well. Really good stuff. And he's a UK local lad, local to us anyway. Which makes it even better.
And he's also another friend of Winter's.
He is, yeah. I did say to him, I said as well, at some point we can invite him down onto the channel and he can have a game with us as well. He was very keen to do that.
Was it March of War that did the basis for Winter's Necrons?
It is. It's March of... Yeah. And it's also...
Yeah, and is Emperor's Children... I think, is it the Emperor's Children that he's doing the
at the moment
Horus Heresy ones?
It's also the same chap that's printed off the Catan for him, the new Catan, which is I can't remember who made it, but the guy from March of War has got the rights to from the people to print it off and sell it. And
Den of Imaginations are the ones that painted
it off,
didn't they?
I think it's Den of Imagination who have made it. I think maybe Den of Imagination. Maybe they printed it off for him, and then he did the base. He did tell us, didn't he, while we were there, and I just can't remember. Anyway.
Yeah, I know Den of Imaginations had painted it, so
Yeah. Oh, that paint job on that Catan was amazing, wasn't it? The metal sort of
yeah.
effect.
Yeah, that was pretty decent. And to be fair, Winters is very proud of it as well because
Yeah.
he was showing it
Yeah.
off, wasn't
Yet it still died.
Yeah, at the hands of the Tech Marine.
he? That Tech Marine was beast.
He was, and I do need to do something special and spectacular for him. I just haven't
The
figured
only
out
thing
what.
more beastly than the Tech Marine was Azza's librarian.
Yeah.
Yeah, I listened to because I wasn't on the podcast last week, but I listened to you guys chatting, and you were correct. At the very end of the battle, it was Ezekiel. He killed the I've forgotten it now. I think it was
Baby
one of the
Bruin.
flesh mowers, not the flesh
the
mower,
flesh-
the blight hauler
Mm.
on the objective, and he blew up and died. That
Love
was
it.
so
I think
close.
I did. I think I forced the explosion, didn't I?
No, you forced the explosion on one of
Oh.
your bloat drones when you were fighting
Right.
the other guys, which was most annoying. But
But you know, I enjoy an explosion. How many times have I actually taken myself out just because I wanted it to explode?
Yeah.
that was it. But that's why it was so kind of satisfying at the end, because you did roll that 6, and it was that 6 which stopped me from an outright win.
Oh, I love it.
Good.
Kept me in the joint leadership.
Yeah, no, it was really good. But yeah, Ezekiel, I didn't play him particularly well. I mean, he did really well in the psychic phase. I didn't do very well with his sword, and I did tell him to try and chop up one of your blight haulers with a sword. That didn't go very well as expected, but I was kind of just trying to sacrifice him, but he wouldn't die, which was quite satisfying.
Yeah, he
The
should.
more you pushed it, the harder he fought back.
Yeah, that was it. Oh, and I didn't even make use of the what was it, inner circle
Yeah.
rule
Well, that's just because you're obviously clearly very in the know.
Yeah.
Head of the slates.
that they're getting rid of it anyway. Yeah.
Yeah. I was just having a look at the Space Marines and Tyranid stuff that they've announced with the Oath of Moment and the hyper adaptations and all the new stuff they're bringing in for 10th.
Yeah.
And obviously the fact that they're dropping abilities and changing it. I don't know whether it's going to feel like a completely different game.
I think it's going to be. That was all I was going to say.
Oh, sorry.
Well, what do you guys reckon to this whole characters attaching to squads, like units?
It simply just makes sense, doesn't it?
It does, from a charging point of view, absolutely. But they're dropping all of the aura abilities as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think
see,
that kind of makes sense.
That's a big thing for Death Guard, though, isn't it? Because I completely get where Death Guard come from with the auras. You know, like this stench of just being in their presence. Just
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
I've always liked that, but obviously it is going to change things.
I don't know if
It'll be
it'll
fun.
change the contagion stuff though, because I think they mean like the characters, because characters have an aura to buff their own team, don't they? And I think it's that they're getting rid of.
So they've said that they're getting rid of a lot of the abilities for re-rolling. So your captains and your lieutenants are going to lose those abilities to re-roll hits and wounds. So I reckon you'll be okay, dude, from a Death Guard point of view.
Yeah, because I think that's a really good rule.
Yeah,
I can't remember what they call it, but like you lose toughness because you're just within this aura of stench.
Yeah. Yeah. Beautiful.
Beautiful.
Although desperately trying to get my chaos, because I've not just dipped my foot and my toe in the chaos world anymore. I think I've full blown just face dived into it.
Haven't you bought some? Did you announce them last week? I can't remember. Did you get them last week? Was it this week? You got some new models? Some models?
I did. It got me in trouble with the missus.
Yeah.
So I've just bought a Chaos Rhino. just in time for them to announce that they're getting good again. I've got some cultists. I've got Abaddon I bought as well, didn't I?
Oh yes, yeah.
Yeah, and then that's on top of a little starter set I got from the magazine subscription last time.
Yeah.
So I've got 10 legionaries, a sorcerer, and then I've got the dude with the flaming book with his 2 things as well.
Are you looking forward to painting the rhino?
Yeah, I am actually.
Yeah, good. I
Yeah.
like.
Although it's a lot of edge highlighted, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. But a lot of it's straight lines. It's the
Now the question is, do I paint it in Death Guard colours or Chaos colours? So, because I can use it for both. I'm liking the fact that with Chaos and Death Guard, I've got a few units that can be used in both armies.
What colour do you paint them if you use them in both?
Good question. At the moment, Chaos, because that's what I'm leaning towards. Just
Well, I'd do that then, Chris.
what colour do you paint your chaos? Is
Yeah.
it black?
black and gold. It's the
Black Legion.
yeah, the Black Legion color scheme. Again, I've put a couple of pictures on the old gram of my possessed.
Because you could like you know at the front of the tank where the lights are and it's embedded, isn't it, across the front? I see it where people paint that a certain colour, so it's like all black, and then you could incorporate some dark green in there somewhere, Death Guard colours.
Yeah, that could be an idea actually.
I see it a lot with like the ultramarine ones. They'll paint it all blue, but then that front particular part is white, and then there'll be a bit more white details on there.
Isn't that for veteran ones?
Some people just do it. Some people paint it gold as well. I don't particularly like it gold, but
That's interesting actually, isn't it? Because they normally do it yellow on the vehicles and gold for the shoulder trim. And also, is it Abaddon that does the Black Crusade?
I'm not sure. I'd need to read the codex.
Well, if it is, whenever I hear that, I just think of the Black Parade by My Chemical Romance.
yeah.
Maybe if I do a paint reveal, short, maybe we'll have to use that song with it.
That's not a bad shout.
Good idea. Good idea.
That, and I never know what songs to pick for stuff, so now you just help me.
Yeah. Very good. Well, I'm frantically trying to get some Dark Angels done before Mr. Lion shows up. Roll out the welcome party.
Absolutely.
And are you willing to pay whatever they ask for to when the Lion comes out? Do we know how much it's going to cost?
Basically, I think Mr. Auspex said it was going to be £65, including the blade guards.
Okay,
So it's
still
a fair wedge.
Not as bad.
Yeah,
not as bad as Morty still.
No, but he's the same sort of size as Abaddon and Gilliman, and those models are what, 36 quid, something like that.
Yeah, 30 quid.
Yeah, about 40 now, I think.
Right. So basically, they're throwing in some blade guards for 25 quid rather than 30 or whatever they are.
Think they'll release him just on his own?
No. I think that'll be the set now, because we've got Azrael. They're releasing him on his own, but that was chucked in a massive box set with. It was over 100 quid. I think that'll be the Lion's Guard. That's what it's being called, isn't it?
I would have thought maybe they'll do what the Games Workshop do best, and so everybody will buy the Lion and get the blade guards, and then in a year's time they'll release the actual Lion's Guard, and there'll be blade guards with the custom ups, like what I mean, set, just to annoy everybody.
Sounds about right. Yeah.
It's a bit like they've just done it with all the Tyranids and the Dark Angel stuff, and it's all the old Terminator armor, and it's all the old Tyranids, and then all of a sudden, hey guys, we're releasing new Terminators and new Tyranids models as well. Like, well, you've just literally just sold a shitload of that in that 100 box set.
Yeah,
And those Tyranids are the old ones that are about, what, 20 years old or something, 30 years old.
It's mad, isn't it?
Yeah, it just shows you just maybe don't rush out and buy the box sets as soon as they get announced.
Well, I
Unless Games
agree.
Workshop starts sending us free stuff, in which case run out and buy the box sets.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah.
Well, I agree with what you say, but I'm still going to buy the line.
Yeah.
Of course.
Good
you
shout.
will.
There's a
See,
pre-order on
Joe's got
Saturday.
these opinions while it's not his army that's got a new big model.
I don't know. I'm currently sat looking at the what's the stupid names of them? The Von Ryan Leapers that have new Tyranny models that have been announced.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently they were in the third edition's lore. Was it? There was
Yeah.
on the Tyranid Evolution chart that they used to have. They just look like Lictor models that have had babies with Hormagaunts or Termagaunts. They look cool.
Yeah, they look great. They're basically a Lictor squad, aren't they?
Yeah, but not as powerful. Apparently, I think it said somewhere.
Okay.
But then there's
Oh.
supposed to be a new Lictor model coming out anyway. So
Is there really?
yeah, apparently that was one of the things that was rumored.
Oh, speaking of rumours, watched a Valrak video this morning
Oh yeah.
talking about rumours for the final book, The Lion, this Arcs of Omen stuff.
Yeah.
And he was explaining the story that had been leaked to him. And then about an hour later, he deleted the video because apparently it was something that someone had put on 4chan. Sounded fairly convincing. And he just reported it, realised it was a load of rubbish, and ruined it. I got well excited. The story sounded great.
But he was
What
still
happened?
excited.
Because basically the story so far is that Vashtor is trying to infiltrate the rock to get some kind of super weapon. And what these guys cleverly did was say, okay, well, he's doing that in order to just detonate some massive weapon in the webway, which is part of the warp, which then would trigger explosions elsewhere and mess everything up. So the Eldar didn't like that, so the Eldar got involved and helped, and then the Lion comes back, fights Angron, and Abaddon gets scared and runs away, bless him. And then everyone's happy because Dark Angels have saved the day with the Eldar teaming up. And then the guys said that Azrael just turns around and goes, "Thanks for your help. Burn the heretics, kill them all," and then kills all the Eldar.
Okay. There was a post the other day that I saw that mentioned about the Dark Angels allying up with the Eldar, which is the new model that's just come out. The is it Farsight? Yeah.
Yeah. It's all makes sense, that little rumor. So I think that whoever's made it up has been very clever and incorporated all of the aspects of the story so far in a believable story with a bit of a twist at the end, making the Dark Angels out to be horrendous, which they kind of are anyway.
Well, they are chaos, aren't they?
Speaking of which, I've just finished the audiobook for Luther, First of the Fallen, and it's the story of how he gets. Well, there's a lot of backstory that isn't important, but it was written 2 years ago, and he's talking about he's willing the lion to come back into existence, or wake up or whatever, so he can sort things out, because obviously the Dark Angels are obsessed with trying to hunt down the traitors. It's a good read, or a good listen for any of our listeners.
To bear that one in mind.
Yeah, I still don't know where to start with. I'd like to listen to the audiobooks. I just don't know where to start with it. So much.
Yeah, if I were you, I'd try the Horus Heresy, the first one. See how you get on. The first few are good at sort of setting the scene for how the Imperium was and how it fell.
I started with Flight of the Eisenstein because obviously collected Death Guard. That's the first point. Death Guard are in.
Yeah. Well, yeah. I mean, there's a lot of horrendous descriptions in that.
Yeah.
Good.
Definitely an audio book rather than a read.
Yeah. But interestingly, in the Luther book, turns out that Typhon, Callus Typhon, of the Death Guard, was encouraging Luther to betray the rest of the Dark Angels. And who does Callus Typhon become?
Barbara.
Typhus.
Typhus, indeed. Yeah. So it's all
I
intertwined.
feel like I was at school then, being quizzed.
Yeah. There you go.
Sounds very good. Maybe I will then. I'll have to have a little listen, have a little find.
Well, as I've said, you're more than welcome to share my login for Audible. I mean, sorry, Amazon.
You'll allow me to sit next to you and listen to it whilst it's in the car. I hear you.
Well, what I mean is, obviously, I will listen to it, and if you happen to overhear it, there's nothing I can do about that.
Nothing you can do at all, sir. Nothing at all.
Should point out that this podcast used to be sponsored by Audible.
Now it's sponsored by Pirate Bay.
I was literally thinking of that joke, and I was like, I probably shouldn't make that joke.
I have in no way have I ever used Pirate Bay in my life. I've never even used it.
Or LimeWire, be the sole reason why Woolworths went out of business.
LimeWire, yeah, God, that's it. I used to use Winamax back in the day. Terrible thing.
Yeah, LimeWire, Kazaa, Morpheus,
Napster. I remember Napster before it turned into an actual buying in one.
Yeah, thanks to Metallica.
Anyway, we digress and no longer talking about Warhammer. And for those that are listening of an authoritative figure, not one of us have ever actually done anything illegal with audio and downloading.
Absolutely not.
Never once. Certainly not on this computer.
Well, it'd just be immoral, wouldn't it? That's why.
Yep. Think of all those poor celebrities that are losing all on that money. Anyway. What were we on about?
I think probably
good time to call it, isn't it?
Yes, I think it's time for us to return back into the warp and materialize next week.
That sounds good. All right, are you ready, boys? Let me open the door.
Okay.
In 3, 2, 1. Goodbye, everybody.
Don't forget to like and subscribe.